Hello everyone and welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. I'm Anuradha and in this session I am back with certain eligibility criteria you need to keep in your mind before you apply for the Air Force Common Admission Test, or in short AFCAT. So let's start straightforward into the session with the index for the session. So these are the contents that we are going to cover in this session, starting with the sex and nationality criteria for the AFCAT examination, followed by the marital status criteria, age limits criteria for flying branch, age limits criteria for ground duty, both technical and non-technical branch, criteria for educational qualifications, criteria for physical and mental standards for AFCAT, and lastly, certain important points to note down before you start applying for your AFCAT examination. So let's start with a short disclaimer as usual. Candidates applying for the examination should ensure that they fulfill all the eligibility conditions for admission to the examination. Remember that their admission at all the stages of the examination will be purely provisional, subject to satisfying the prescribed eligibility conditions. Mere issue of admission certificate to the candidate will not imply that his candidature has been finally cleared by the Commission. If on verification at any time before or after the written examination or AFSB testing, it is found that they do not fulfill any of the eligibility conditions, their candidature will be cancelled by the Indian Air Force. So be very careful before you apply. Please do check your eligibility conditions. So here you go, starting with the first sex and nationality criteria for AFCAT examination. First of all, candidate must be a citizen of India, and both male and female candidates are eligible to apply. Right? Coming to the marital status criteria, there are different provisions, so please be careful about it. First of all, candidates below 25 years of age must be unmarried at the time of commencement of course. Widows or widowers and divorcees with or without encumbrances, in other words, with or without issues or children below 25 years of age are not eligible. A candidate who marries subsequent to or after the date of his application, though successful at SSB or medical, will not be eligible for training. A candidate who marries during the period of training shall be discharged and will be liable to refund all expenditure incurred on him by the government. Married candidates above 25 years of age are eligible to apply, okay, but during training period, they will neither be provided married accommodation nor can they live out with their family, right? Now coming to the age limits criteria for the flying branch. As you know that there are two different branches. One is for flying branch, another is the ground duty branch. I'm going to give you the age limits criteria according to the exams for the flying branch. So this is for AFCAT 2 2020 exam. The candidate has to be between the ages of 20 to 24 years as on 1st January 2022. The age limits for the candidate will be for those born between 2nd January 1998 to 1st January 2002, both dates inclusive. Upper age limit for candidates holding valid and current commercial pilot license issued by DGCA India is relaxable up to 26 years, and the candidates have to be born between 2nd January 1996 to 1st July 2002, both dates inclusive. For age limits criteria for the flying branch for AFCAT 2 2021 examination, the candidates has to be again between the ages of 20 to 24 years as on 1st July 2022. And the candidates have to be born between 2nd July 1998 to 1st July 2002, both dates inclusive. The upper age limit for candidates holding valid and current commercial pilot license issued by DGCA India is relaxable up to 26 years, and the candidates have to be born between 2nd July 1996 to 1st July 2002, both dates inclusive. Right? So these were for the age limits criteria for the flying branch. Now coming to the age limits criteria for the ground duty, both technical and non-technical branch. Here you go. For AFCAT 2 2020 exam, the candidates have to be between the ages of 20 to 26 years as on 1st July 2021. and the candidates have to be born between 2nd July 1995 to 1st July 2001, both dates inclusive. For AFCAT 1 2021 examination, again the candidates can be between 20 to 26 years as on 1st January 2022, and they have to be born between 2nd January 1996 to 1st January 2002, both dates inclusive. For AFCAT 2 2021 examination, the candidates again has to be between 20 to 26 years as on 1st July 2022, and they have to be born between 2nd July 1996 to 1st July 2002, both dates inclusive. Right? So please be very careful about your age criteria, because this is one of the most confusing things that the candidates face while they're applying for the AFCAT examination. So please be very careful and match your eligibility criteria before you apply. Coming to the educational qualifications, this has also been divided into the flying branch and ground duty branch. This is for the flying branch, as you can see. Here you go. Candidates should have mandatorily passed with a minimum of 60% marks each in maths and physics at 10+2 level. This criteria has to be met by the candidates applying for the flying branch, and not only that, they have to be a graduate. That means they have to have a graduation with minimum 3 years degree course in any discipline from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. Or they can also hold a BE or BTech degree, which is a 4 years course from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. Or candidates who have cleared Section A and B examination of Associate Membership of Institution of Engineers India or Aeronautical Society of India from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent, right? Coming to the educational qualifications for the ground duty technical branch, AEL. Now, what is AEL? AEL means Aeronautical Engineer, and this L stands for electronics, right? So this is for the ground duty technical branch, aeronautical engineer electronics. Educational qualifications should be for the candidates should have a minimum of 60% marks each in physics and mathematics at 10+2 level, along with any one of these, right? Minimum of 4 years degree graduation or integrated post-graduation qualification in engineering or technology from recognized university. Or the candidates can clear sections A and B examination of Associate Membership of Institution of Engineers India or Aeronautical Society of India, or a graduate membership examination of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers by actual studies with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent, right? Now let's see what are the different eligible engineering branches which are allowed to apply in the ground duty technical branch for AEL, Aeronautical Engineer Electronics. Here you are: communication engineering, computer engineering or technology, computer engineering and application, computer science and engineering or technology, electrical and computer engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering or technology, electronics science and engineering, electronics engineering, electronics and communication engineering, electronics and computer science, electronics and or telecommunication engineering, electronics and or telecommunication engineering microwave, electronics and computer engineering, electronics communication and instrumentation engineering, electronics instrument and control, electronics instrument and control engineering, instrumentation and control engineering, instrument and control engineering, and information technology. Right? So these are the lists of eligible engineering branches, the candidates of which can apply for the ground duty technical branch AEL. Now for the educational qualifications for the ground duty technical branch AEM. Now what is AEM? It is basically aeronautical engineer mechanical. This M stands for mechanical, aeronautical engineer mechanical. So the candidates who are applying for this ground duty technical branch AEM should have a minimum of 60% marks each in physics and mathematics at 10+2 level and a minimum of 4 years degree graduation or integrated post-graduation qualification in engineering or technology from recognized university, or one who have cleared sections A and B examination of Associate Membership of Institution of Engineers India or Aeronautical Society of India by actual studies with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. So let's check out the different lists of eligible engineering branches for the ground duty technical branch AEM. Here you go: aerospace engineering, aeronautical engineering, aircraft maintenance engineering, mechanical engineering and automation, mechanical engineering production, mechanical engineering repair and maintenance, mechatronics, and industrial engineering. Now coming to the educational qualifications for the ground duty non-technical branches. Now here you go. For the administration branch, the candidate has to have a graduate degree with minimum 3 years degree course in any discipline from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. Or he can also clear section A and B examination of Associate Membership of Institution of Engineers India or Aeronautical Society of India from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. For logistics branch under ground duty non-technical branch, the educational qualification for the candidate has to be a graduate degree with a minimum 3 years degree course in any discipline from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent, or one who has cleared section A and B examination of Associate Membership of Institution of Engineers India or Aeronautical Society of India from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. For the ground duty non-technical branch of accounts, the educational qualification for a candidate who is eligible to apply should have a graduate degree of a minimum 3 years degree course in commerce discipline. Not in any discipline, has to be from a commerce discipline from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. All right. Now coming to the criteria for physical and medical standards for candidates applying for the AFCAT examination. The candidates must be physically and mentally fit according to the prescribed physical and medical standards. Candidates are therefore advised in their own interest to get themselves medically examined before submitting their applications to avoid disappointment at the final stage. Right? Now we will proceed on to certain important points that you need to note before you start applying for your AFCAT examination. So here you are. Candidates who are studying in the final year or semester degree course and are yet to pass the final year degree examination can also apply, provided there is a condition, however, provided that the candidate should not have any present backlog and should have secured a minimum of 60% marks up to the last semester or last year, for which results have been declared up to the time of submission of application. They are required to, however, submit proof of passing the degree examination by a prescribed date. Okay. The next is candidates who have failed the Computerized Pilot Selection System CPSS or Pilot Aptitude Battery Test PABT in an earlier attempt, or a flight cadet suspended from flying training at Air Force Academy will not be eligible to apply in flying branch. That means they can apply in the other branch, that is the ground duty branch, but not in flying branch. LLB qualified and integrated or dual degree candidates may get an opportunity to be employed on legal duties of the IAF after commissioning. Next, candidates who were admitted to an earlier course at the National Defense Academy, Indian Military Academy, Air Force Academy, Indian Naval Academy, Officers Training Academy Chennai, and Officers Training Academy Gaya, but were removed on grounds of indiscipline are ineligible to apply. They are not eligible to apply for AFCAT. Candidates who are debarred by the Ministry of Defense from holding any type of commission in the defense services shall not be eligible for AFCAT, and if admitted, their candidature will be cancelled. Also, the candidates who have been convicted on criminal charges and those who are still stuck in a criminal case are not eligible to apply. So keep these important things to note, important eligibility criteria before you go on to apply for your AFCAT examination. Also, if you want to perform better than the other candidates who are applying and preparing for their AFCAT examination, download our mobile app and subscribe to the AFCAT courses, where you'll get different content lectures, in-depth analysis of complex topics in AFCAT examination, mock tests, quizzes, practice exercises, sample practice Q&A, and previous year's solved Q&A, which will give you an edge over the other candidates. So download our mobile app, subscribe to the AFCAT courses, and work hard. Jai Hind.